Hello, welcome, and my name is Maria McMahon. Welcome if this is the first time you've checked in with any of my videos, and welcome back if you are a regular visitor to my YouTube channel. So the question I'm going to be asking in the video today is, can you fix your narcissist? And I'm going to share with you the harsh truth. Now, it's something that people ask me many, many times, and I think mostly when people ask me this, they have this hope in their hearts, this belief that maybe the narcissist can be cured, or maybe they can fix them. But sadly, the fact is they can't be fixed. The nature of NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, in case you're not familiar with that, the nature of that itself means that narcissists don't think there is anything wrong with them. They think they're perfect and that the world should bend to their every whim. So they rarely ever seek treatment. And if they do go to therapy, it's to learn more ways of manipulating you. Now, they very often fool therapists, and this has been confirmed many times by people who've been to couples therapy or counselling with their narcissistic partner. I've actually had so many people share their horror stories with me in my Facebook groups, even to the point where the narcissist has ended up having an affair with the therapist. Now, I know that's incredibly unprofessional and unethical and shocking for a therapist, but it happens. But it's also another example of just how manipulative narcissists can be. And the other scary thing is that some therapists are actually narcissists as well. So that's pretty scary stuff. But again, it happens. Now, the other issue as well is that there are a lot of therapists out there who just don't understand NPD or abuse. Now, there's one expert in the field who does understand it, and I want to talk briefly about him, and that's Sam Vaknin. He's one of the world's leading authorities on narcissists, narcissism. He's a professor of psychology and a self-aware narcissist himself. Now, he says adult narcissists can rarely be cured, though some scholars think otherwise. Still, the earlier the therapeutic intervention, the better the prognosis. A correct diagnosis and a proper mix of treatment modalities in early adolescence guarantees success without relapse in anywhere between 1/3 and 1/2 of the cases. Now, more recently, Sam's been experimenting with a process he's developed called cold therapy. But in the several years that he's been doing it, to date, and the most recent video of his I watched about this was January 2021, so 6 months ago, he said that he's treated 47 people. And he claims that he's cured them all completely of narcissistic personality disorder, which is another subject. He actually doesn't consider it a personality disorder. Sam can be quite hard to keep up with at times, okay? But he does admit that this number is tiny. Now, this therapy may evolve to the point where it can be taught and replicated, and lots of trials can go out to prove that, yes, it works, and yes, you can cure narcissistic personality disorder. But even Sam admits we're a long, long way from that stage. So, you know, holding out hope that the average narcissist can be fixed or cured is pretty futile. So basically, when it comes to romantic relationships or parents who are narcissists, or basically anyone who is out of adolescence, the chances of them being fixed or cured are zero. So if you're thinking perhaps that your love or your support or your patience or flexibility, your endless trying to please and appease and placate the narcissist, you know, in your life, that doing all that will finally make things right, well, it won't ever. And the biggest issue with narcissists getting treatment, you have to remember, is that they have this idea that they're perfect, and they hold on to that idea. You know, they fight tooth and nail to keep the mask in place and to keep that identity. Obviously, that doesn't work because we know the masks slip off all the time, and that's how we know that, you know, they are who they are. But obviously, admitting that they need any kind of help, it just goes totally against the grain. And it's probably why Sam, even with his undeniably vast knowledge and experience and reach, has only managed to treat 47 people in the several years, as I've mentioned. And that is minuscule, you know, that's a splash in a drop in a pond. Now, he also doesn't appear to have shared the case studies. And my cynical mind can't help but wonder, are these people really cured, or is that some kind of a smokescreen? What I'd like to see are testimonials from these supposedly cured narcissists, and testimonials from the people in their lives where it can be really validated and verified that they have really changed. And I won't believe it until I see really hard, concrete evidence. And I've actually been in touch with Sam. I was in touch with him on Messenger last year. He's always very pleasant. He always replies to me. And I wanted to know if he's maybe writing a book about his cold therapy process. But he said, not yet. And then he told me about something else he's focusing on, you know, some other work at this time. So that was a year ago. And I just messaged him again now to ask how it's going. And we'll see if he responds and what he says. But I'm not actually expecting any major breakthrough in healing narcissists anytime soon. You know, I think at some point in the future, a long, long, long way off in the future, it might happen. But I don't actually expect that to be in my lifetime. So that brings us to, what can you do if you are dealing with a narcissist? And the simple fact is this: the only one you can fix in a narcissistic relationship is yourself. If you continue to stay in the relationship, it will get worse and worse and worse, and you will continue to be abused. Narcissists, you have to remember, hold themselves completely unaccountable for their actions, and they expect you to pour your love and adoration, your acceptance and compliance all over them like a warm blanket. And the moment you stop, when you start coming to your senses and questioning them, is the moment the devaluing starts. And then they'll set out to really screw you up. And you'll be the one left reeling in shock and pain and confusion. And you'll feel as if your world is crumbling, which it very often is. So your only course of action when that happens is to get help and get out of the relationship. In the case that it's impossible for you to just get out, and I know there are situations where that's the case, then you really need help even more so to learn how to deal with the narcissistic partner, you know, in situ in your life. And there are ways to do this, such as grey rocking and other tactics. So learn all those tactics. You know, I've got videos on grey rocking and videos on self-worth and self-esteem. Those are the type of things you need to start focusing on. So do check out my other videos. Now, you know, if you're to retain any semblance of normality, you really have got to learn these strategies. And that brings me to another question that I get asked very, very often, and that is, how do you escape the hell of narcissistic abuse? So in the next video, I'm going to talk about that and give you some tips on what it actually takes, what you need to do to start escaping and healing from narcissistic abuse. So I will put that up next. So please come and watch that. And thank you very, very much for joining me. And I will see you again soon. Thank you for now. Bye.